Hey everybody, Dominic here, and I have a question for you. Are you a list person? And when I say list person, what I mean is, do you like to check things off to make sure that you're done with them? If you are, then you're probably someone who appreciates the to-do list in Canvas. The to-do list is great because essentially what it does is every time the instructor puts a due date on something, it'll show up on the student's to-do list when that due date is approaching. And that's great. But what about to-do lists for the other content in the course? What about to-do lists for the pages that you want students to read and the links that you want them to look at? Is there a way to make a to-do list for the stuff that doesn't have a due date? The answer is yes, there is. And in this video, I'm going to talk about requirements in Canvas and how they can really benefit those students who want to check off those things on a to-do list. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to go over to my Google training course really quick. So let me go to my dashboard and I'm going to go to my Google training course. Requirements are something that exists within modules. So the number one thing here is that you have got to be using modules for what I'm about to show you to work. And generally, I would say most of us should be using modules. There might be a few exceptions here and there, but modules are essentially the way that you organize learning content for students. And I highly recommend that you put all of your content within modules. So here I am in my Google training course. I'm going to click on modules, and that brings up the module view. And here you can see in my course, I've got my content organized in modules. You know, module 1 is about Google Drive, module 2 is about Google Docs, module 3 Google Slides, and so on. And you can see that within the modules, I've actually numbered the pieces of content. So as an example here, for module 1, Google Drive, I've got a page here, 1.1a, which is a learning guide. I can see that it's a page based on the icon, the little paper icon. Then I got 1.1b, which is about team drives. So I got a page there as well. And then I've got an assignment, 1.2. I can see it's an assignment because it's got the little page with a pencil icon. 1.3 is another assignment that is actually a follow-up from the previous assignment, and that's why I use the indentation to kind of visualize the fact that one is dependent upon the other. And then I've got a page, 1.4, for supplemental materials, just extra stuff that I think people might like. And then I finished off with 1.5, which is actually a badge that I've added into my course here. So that's one of my modules as an example. And this module is utilizing requirements. And what requirements are basically ways in which you can have students know that they are finished with a piece of the content of your course. One way that I know that I'm using modules is up here in the top right. You'll see that in this module, there's this complete all items section. And let me actually show you what this looks like from a student perspective, because I think you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go to the home here, and I'm going to click on student view on the right hand side here on the sidebar. Okay, so now I am a student. I'm going to go into the modules. And just like you saw earlier, I have the complete all items text up here in the top right, for my modules. Now notice that to the right of that text is this little red minus sign. That's indicating that I've started working on the content of this module, but I haven't finished yet. If I scroll down here, there's complete all items with nothing. That means I haven't even started yet. So if there's nothing there, that means I haven't started. If there's the little red minus icon, that means I've started, but I'm not finished yet. If it was a green check mark, that would mean that I'm completely done with that module. Okay? Now, within this module, so we'll look at module 1 as an example. What I've done is I have set up 3 requirements. And what these represent are 3 things that you have got to do before I consider you complete for the module. And being considered complete for the module, there's no grade based upon it. It's really just a checklist of like, okay, if you've done all the stuff in here, they're all green checks, then cool. You've done everything that you need to do for this module. Now, what does a student need to do? Well, in Module 1, I can see that for 1.1a, it's got a green check mark. That means I've done it. What do I need to do? Well, look right under the title, 1.1a Google Drive Learning Guide. Under that it says Viewed. Okay. In order for me to complete that requirement, I have to view the page. All that means is I have to click on it and see it. If I do that, then I'm done with that particular part of the module. Let me go down to one that I haven't done yet. So here, Module 2, 2.1, Google Docs Learning Guide. It says I need to view it. And you can see over here there's a bubble that's empty. Okay, so that's part of the requirement for completing this module. So if I click on that, that will bring me into the learning guide. And by me simply clicking it, I have now viewed this page. Okay, it's not going to keep track of how much time I've spent on the page when it comes to completion. Either I've seen it or I haven't seen it. Okay, so now if I go back to modules and I go down to Module 2, you'll see 2.1, I've got a green check mark. It has been viewed. I'm good to go. Okay, and I can see that in order for me to complete all of Module 2, okay, I viewed that, that's good, but I also need to submit an assignment for 2.2. So you'll see right here under the 2.2 title, it says submit. That means until I submit something, this circle is going to be not checked off. I need to submit an assignment. And then for 2.3, I need to mark as done. Okay, so let me quickly demonstrate these. So first of all, the submit. I'm going to click on that assignment. Okay, and here are the instructions of what I must do. Okay. And actually, this assignment here is utilizing CourseKit, which is one of our custom assignment integrations for Canvas. It's not actually a good example. I don't want to show you that right now. It might get a little confusing. Let me see if I've got a different assignment that I could demonstrate this for you. Maybe Google Drive Learning Activity. Let me try that one. Okay. Yeah, so for this one, the purpose of this assignment is to submit an ARC video. That's how you complete this assignment. Okay, so in the top right corner here, there's the Submit Assignment button, so I can click on that. And in the case of submitting an ARC video, I can click on the ARC tab. If you're not familiar with if you're not familiar with submitting ARC videos for assignments, I would encourage you to check out another video that I did in which I talk about that as a method of sharing ARC videos from the student perspective. But in this case, I'm going to grab this little ARC video here. I will allow comments, that's fine. I'll click Embed, and then I'll click on Submit Assignment. Okay. So again, the requirement for this assignment was to submit something, which is what I just did. Okay. So now, if I go back to the module view, let's take a look. So Google Drive 1.2, submitted, green check. I'm done with that one. Okay, so for Module 1, I have viewed this learning guide. For 1.1b, there's actually no requirement. A requirement was not given for this. And if I, as the teacher, really want my students to look at 1.1b, I probably should add a requirement to it. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. And so 1.2, I submitted the assignment, I got a green check mark. There is one thing left for me to be marked as fully complete for Module 1, and that is I need to do 1.3, Google Drive Reflection and Application. I can see there's a circle there, no green check. I can see the module overview, I got the red minus. That means I haven't done everything yet. And under the title, I can see for this one, it's not View, it's not Submit, it's Mark as Done. Now what that means is if I click on this one, and here's an assignment. This assignment is asking me to go out to another website and do something. And in order for me to be checked off as having done this, I am actually going to click on Mark as Done. Now, really important to point out here. I've set up this assignment with a Mark as Done requirement. When I click Mark as Done, that does not give me a grade. That's important to point out here. You can see this assignment's worth 10 points, right? The way this assignment is set up is that the instructor is going to manually assign the points when they go out to the website where the students were supposed to do something and check and see that they did it, okay? So this Mark as Done button, I can click on that. Okay, done. Again, that does not give me, the student, a grade. It's just indicating, okay, I went out to the website, I did what I was supposed to do, I'm going to go back here and hit Mark as Done to check it off my list. Okay, and later on the teacher will go check, make sure that I did what I said that I did, assuming that I did, they will go to the grade book and give me those points. Okay, so now let's go back to the modules view and let's see what module 2 looks like. Oh, I'm sorry, module 1. So here we go. You can see that 1.3 marked as done, green check, and now look, the module itself overall has got a green check. I have completed all the items in this module. Okay. So requirements, again, the purpose of requirements are really as a way to give students that checklist of all the different stuff that they should do in order to progress. Okay, not just complete the assignments. I mean, obviously we want the students to do that, but also to give them that checklist of other things like go view a page, go mark something as, yep, I did that. Okay. Now, how is this set up? It's actually pretty simple. Let me go back to the teacher view here. I'll leave student view. And let's go down to module, well, no, we'll stay in module 1, okay? So module 1, again, we had the 3 requirements here, right? We had to view this page, submit this assignment, mark this assignment as done, okay? Let's say that I wanted to add a requirement for 1.1b. You know what? I want students to view that page also, okay? Here's how you put requirements on the items in your modules. You're going to click on the kebab selector in the top right for that module, and you're going to click on edit. Okay. Now when you first do this, you're not going to see as much as what you're seeing here right now. Essentially what you'll see is this area here will be empty, but you'll see this little add requirement link. So you're going to click on add requirement. Okay. And that's going to give you the choice of selecting, okay, what kind of a requirement do you want to add? So let me demonstrate that now. I'll click on add requirement. Okay. And it gives me a little drop down here and a drop down here. The first drop down is I select which item in the module is going to get a requirement. So I'll select this. And in this case, I want 1.1b. That page, I want to add a requirement to that page. So I'll select that one. Okay. Now I get to select what type of requirement do I want to create for this item. By default, it's view. View this item, which is actually, that's the one that I want. But just to show you the other options here, I can do view the item, mark as done. Contribute to the page would be if I created a page in Canvas in which I gave students the ability to edit that page. That would be contribute to the page. And if I do an assignment, so this is a page right here that I'm working on. If I go up here to like this assignment, you can see that submit the assignment is another option. Or score at least, that's another option. So if I do a quiz, for example, or an assignment in which the students have to get a certain score before I'll check them off and I'll let them redo it. That's another option that you can have. Okay, but for this page, I'm going to do view the item, and I'll hit update. Really quickly, you'll see that there's a couple of settings that I can do up here. So the first one, students must complete all these requirements. Basically what that means is if I want them to get the green check mark for the whole module, they have to do everything. Okay? Or I could say students must complete one of these requirements in order to get that green check mark. It's kind of up to me. Typically, I think you would choose the first one. And you could also force them to move through it sequentially if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to hit update module. Okay, you'll see that it's going to give me this message about relocking the modules. Essentially, the reason it's giving me this message is that I've got students who have already progressed through module 1, and they have module 1 checked off as being, you're all done, you're good to go. And now I'm adding a new requirement. So it's saying, hey, do you want to relock the modules? It's not, I shouldn't say it's locking. What it really means is it's going to uncheck that module's being complete for people because I added a new requirement. So I could relock it, or I could just say continue, and those people who went through it, let's just say they're still done. Okay, but I'll hit relock, sure. Okay, and so now we got that new requirement here. Okay. Now, I'm going to wrap up this video here because I don't want it to get too long. Requirements, again, are a checklist. Now, you do have the ability to actually lock modules from being accessible until students have completed everything from previous modules. That's called prerequisites. Okay, that is an option in Canvas, and I might cover that in a different video. But for now, I just wanted to show you how you can use requirements to give students basically a checklist to go through and make sure they cover all the content in their modules. So reach out to me or the CPE department if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.